talk about incremental investment and social enterprises. Our country, to move from the developing nation to a developed nation, we need to have a lot of focus on people. Unemployment and less paid employment, that is also equally can be called as unemployment. These are the real issues of a developing nation. We should be able to place our people in remunerative jobs. How many of our people are getting a decent salary in India? The upper strata of high profile, so-called high profile jobs may be having, but many category of jobs, including teaching, is not well paid in India. UGC and these kind things are all only limited to a small segment of people. A small segment of people are enjoying major portion of the fund which is spent on salaries and other expenses, and the bottom line is really in a very low status of pay. So we need to think of our people and give more focus for our people. So now, to give a focus on people, we should have a thing called time-based management, and we should respect people and give priority for people, and we should start measuring things on time basis. In government offices, what we see is people are placed for 8 hours in a day, but we don't see them doing some work there. So let the government decide to give 2 hours for a government employee free when that person is interested to develop social enterprises. Social enterprises is nothing but engaging people and giving service to the society. When you see our place, India, and other developed nations, we see the service sector is having many differences. Many things which we see in abroad, in advanced nations, are not seen in our place. Many services are there which is not seen here. So we need to think in line of creating an atmosphere, living standard like a developed nation by employing people more in service sector. There is no meaning in people working more hours in the office and making less productivity. We should calculate an average productivity index and put people in job based on their performance. Those who are able to finish their job, the targeted job, the assigned job in half of the time, allow them to use the remaining time to develop, create social enterprises, and also earn an incentive from their revenue. What is the difference of a developed nation and a developing nation? The basic thing what we see is the salary structure. A nurse in America fetch more than 2 lakhs a month salary, whereas in India it is on an average it is about 10,000 to 12,000 to 15,000 rupees. So can we make the time, nurse time in a hospital, reduce it to say 6 hours and allow them to be on their own the remaining 2 hours, so that whether they can provide some excellent services and earn some extra income out of their excess time working. Not I'm talking about overloading them with overtime work and all those things. Save time within the existing work schedule and use that time available, excess time which is created, for developing social enterprises where they also get employed and they create job for many more people. This kind of thinking we should establish. The government employees are to be respected, and we should understand we can eradicate corruption only with an incentive system. We should give them an opportunity to generate revenue without corruption. That means, say the government take a decision today saying that half of the time you finish your targeted work, double the target, what they are doing today, double the target, and tell them you finish the job and then you can go and establish social enterprises, not anything what you wanted to do, establish social enterprise and give certain list of things which they can do. Each department, for example, the police department, they can give legal assistance for the people, and they can get into education of discipline. All those things can be done. In that way, what we can do is we will change the quality of life of people, and which will get them into a earning module where they employ their time, little saved excess time by doing excess performance in their duty and saving little time. That time they will use to establish the social enterprises where lot many more people will get employment, and they also will get a kind of excess salary. We need to think of these kind of new ideas. So when I talk about incremental investment, it is the money which is invested on social enterprises within establishments. Most of the organizations in India are socially committed. We see so many people doing lot more charities for the people. People are not very selfish in India. People have true heart. So we trust the people, including business people, including the corporate sector, and let us divert this corporate social responsibility fund from the present expenditure of simply books of what they create in the books of accounts to the real front. When it comes to the real front, it will make a real difference. So for example, let this year or next year decide that all CSR fund will be used for upgrading the health sector. The hospitals, the government hospitals at every place need a lot more attention and lot more support and lot more expansion programs. So you decide this year all the CSR fund will be used for such activities, and give them a small block in the district hospital to run it all together using the CSR fund. Each establishment, each corporate house to take care of one block, something like we need to visualize. That kind of channelization will only make the country grow. Instead of making promises and talking about a smart city, God knows what is their smart city. The MPs are asking for ideas from people. When people go to them with ideas, they don't care. And God knows they are not even able to present one idea on their own. They are talking about fighting between the political parties, talking on unwanted things, and not we see them talking an idea. An idea never inspire a political leader. This is the tragedy of our nation. I'm not saying they are not efficient or they are not enlightened. They don't have time. Their all focus is on other activities than talking about ideas or thinking about possibilities and looking into the lives of people. So once they change their approach, they are all very efficient people, they are very dynamic people. That is why when we look into their past, their coming up as leaders, when we see the earlier days when they were forcing themselves to become leaders, those days they had all these faculties, the creativity, ideas, everything was there. Why when they get into power they lose all these things? They should nurture their qualities, and they should see that they need to go out of power after some time. They cannot hook on to power for all the time. And we see people when they are in power they behave something different, and when they go out of power they behave something different, and people also very indifferently behave with them. They respect them when they are showing they are respecting them when they are in power, and when they go out of power they do the opposite. Why all these things? Let us behave like human beings, and let us see that we are here to do something for the society, to make some change in society, and we have some role in society, and let us perform our roles. So let us think about new ways. When the problems are severe, the ways also should be different. So the way which we propose is come together and think together, and then when we work together, that will create a huge impact. So now let the corporate sector get into the social responsibility activities and build social enterprises, and employ more people into the service sector, which is totally vacant. We can create plenty of opportunities in service sector. We can create every month 1000 jobs of transcription service, transcriptionist. They can give help for people to write a book, write articles, write speeches. Lot many things can be done. The quality of life, the performance of the professionals also can be improved in this way. Let us start thinking in different ways and do things differently and do something and make it a real success and goodwill, and let the names be written in the history of the nation.